Well, I hope you all had a good break. I put away a very delicious, like a fire roasted salsa. Oh, apparently I still have a spot of it on my shirt here. That's my dedication to you all. I'm willing to spill salsa in order to get
Oh
back
my.
and play. Yeah, I know. All right, so we had left off. We had left off with Mr. Halvar having shed his black hair, laying dead, it seems, in the ruins of this seaside shack. Norallie and Mordecai are, well, Norallie is kind of like hugging Mr. Halvar's neck, and Mordecai's like, well, after you took a walk with Celine, but you were comforting her.
I'm back now. I walked away from that.
Investigator Stillwaters was investigating, unless there's anything else that I was missing. And Bright, what were you doing beyond just initially checking Mr. Halvar for life signs? Hey, there we go. We lost a floof. I can't hear you, but I see we lost a floof.
Oh no! He bit off one of my floofs.
Oh no! You did it!
No! Can you mending it back on for me?
Oh, you can't mend hair, Bright. I'm sorry.
Why can't you mend hair?
It's mundane.
I couldn't tell.
Excuse me, Bright's hair is fantastic. There's nothing mundane about that.
It's non-magical.
All right. Well, whew, man, we're getting a series of losses here. Tell you what, Bright has made a sacrifice. The side pigtail does kind of work for her, though. Anyway, Bright has made a sacrifice. You all have been doing some very good RP, so I would like to make sure you all have one inspiration point.
I already have one.
For
Celine has been thoroughly yelled at.
Yeah, I know. Normies can't understand your your unique take.
They don't get it, and that's fine.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Bright. Was there anything else that you were doing besides investigating Mr. Halvar's corpse?
I'm sad, but
okay.
Also, I want to. There's other hair. There's a lot of hair right now. There's a lot of black hairs floating around on the ground, and I think they're starting to wiggle. And I don't think we want to let them wiggle too much. I'm going to ask my gargoyle to come over and start picking up all the loose bits of hair.
Okay. Your gargoyle begins that process. You hear, the ice and everything that had frozen the hair. You've been hearing things like drip and crack during this kind of, it's not downtime like in an epic sense. This has been just several minutes of, discussion and coming to immediate terms. And Bright, has her pink hair. Which is flapping in the wind, and then there's all this black hair, especially around Mr. Halvar. Some of it was like it looked like it was kind of like getting caught in the wind, and of course there's the black hair that was up in the kind of the ice sculpture that inadvertently formed after that breath attack. And the wind is coming in from the sea, so the hair is kind of being blown, into the rubble of the house, the wreckage, kind of disappearing underneath floorboards and whatnot. But, like some strands are kind of floating away, kind of off and, are being claimed by the sea.
So, the main thing for me to do out for the black hair and keep a very close eye on it is, I don't know how deep the ground is here, but I'm going to start using mold earth. I took that spell just in time. I'm going to start using mold earth to see how deep I can dig before I get to diggable anymore. Whether it's bedrock or just a pile of groundwater, I don't know what.
Okay, so you start digging.
I want to see if I can dig it deep enough to hold the dragon.
Mordecai, with your with your passive, because I'm not going to call for an active here in this moment from you. You do see that the hair is kind of blowing, but it's also sometimes it seems to move counter to the wind. So you feel it on the side of your face, but the hair. So if the wind is blowing, if the wind is blowing this way, then the hair still seems to be blowing this way, and not with the wind.
Does it look like it's crawling?
Yes.
I am going to, like... Let's sort of touch it. I'm gonna take my tinderbox and a torch and start, like, trying to light the hair on fire.
It's all very
What are you
wet. If not from the ice, then from the sea salty spray of the wind.
At this point, Jacob is going to notice that Mordecai is trying to end up creating fire of some sort. First, he thinks that's cremating the corpse, but then realizes, so whatever he's trying to do is trying to hold on. He moves over to it and kind of just crouches down. He's just gonna kind of observe it. He's gonna see if he can figure this out, because I think it's fairly obvious it's not moving with the wind. It seems to be
By this
moving on
point,
its own.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So. Well, had to...
It must have been a sea breeze kicked up, and you're getting some sand in your face, Jacob. You know, like some sand in your eye, and you're having to like kind of tear up and blink. And you know, as you're doing so, like you're trying to focus, but unfortunately, it's so distracting right now as this is going on.
I'll just be a second.
And though the wind is changing direction, you know, kind of slowly blowing, the hairs all seem to be picking up, and like someone slurping in just spaghetti into its mouth. You see the hair now just begin to be reeled into into Mr. Halvar's corpse.
Does it move?
No. The hair is.
At this point, Jacob doesn't want that to end up happening, so he ends up grabbing hold of the hair, and he's going to try and end up pulling it. Like, no, I am not doing this again.
Sure. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm assisting.
Okay.
Can't hear you, Bright.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Bright.
Sorry. I want to look at the big ball of hair. What's going on with it?
It had been melting out of, like, the ice was kind of quickly going down, and so the hair has now been, like, slithering in the direction of Mr. Halvar's corpse.
Okay, so I'm going to ask my gargoyle to help with that, and I'm also going to use my mage hand and also my regular gnome hand to all from the
Okay.
dragon. Maybe we can get the hair and drown it in the water.
As that,
I'm Cthulhu. I don't know how it works.
as you go to summon your mage hand, it doesn't summon. The magic doesn't manifest.
Strange.
And for all of you pulling, Jacob, you have a hell of a grip on this thing. You're aided by Mordecai. Like, he even kind of like wound it around your arm and is trying to dig in. And with this dedicated effort, you can see that the hair seems to be going not necessarily into Mr. Halvar, but below Mr. Halvar.
I kind of imagine what you're describing is Mordecai and Jacob are just both hanging onto this hair, heels dug in, and both of us just pathetically being dragged.
Yes. And because you're doing this, it does appear like the hair is going underneath Mr. Halvar. Norallie, as you're holding and this is beginning to happen, you feel a twitch.
So I was digging a hole to see if we could test bury the dragon.
Yes.
How well did that work? How far down did it go? What's the deal with that?
You were able to start digging. However, that has I mean it's a big thing, so I mean you're having to excavate a little bit at a time here. You have a part of a ditch that you've been digging. Maybe the hair's kind of pooling up in that or something, or off to the side, but you started that. However, it seems as if you're having trouble manifesting magic, Bright.
Oh, that's not good.
Norallie, Mr. Halvar seems to kind of be doing a little wiggle in your arms. At least, you know, your head as you're against the neck here.
I'm just gonna look at him.
Okay. Mr. Halvar's eyes are still open and sightless. Though maybe he's stirring, his body's kind of flopping a little bit.
I'm taking a dagger and I'm gonna try and start cutting hairs.
Okay.
Celine, do you have any protection against becoming undead? That could be real nice right now.
Yeah, I do, but it's gonna take time.
Not have time.
And
Yeah,
Apparently
no
magic.
time.
Alright. Jacob at this point, realizing that he can't end up stopping this from going, at the very least will try and end up taking a look. So he rushes, trying to get ahead of the hair, trying to end up observing, like, what is it going under? It's not going in the corpse, it's going under the corpse. Where is it going? Like, can you get a sight? Is it manifesting underneath? Is it burying itself deep? What's going on here? And should be assisted with Bright's earlier cast of, moving the earth.
all right, so you're trying to follow, you're trying to dig. Celine, you're thinking of maybe some anti-undead measures. Mordecai, you're trying to slash at the hair with a dagger. And Norallie, I mean you're there, and maybe Mr. Halvar's stirring. Where his neck connects with his body, kind of lifts up, but his body's limp, and all of you can see just two green eyes staring out from this dark roiling mass beneath the corpse of the silver dragon. And in a blinding moment, Norallie, you are sucked. A hand wraps around you, pulls you underneath this thing, and she disappears into darkness. Jacob, you're there as well. You can either fight against it, as you're either going to get drug in, or you can go with it.
Can't let the little one end up doing it on her own, so...
Norallie is bound in black hair that shoots out from this dark pit underneath the silver dragon corpse. She's drug inside. Investigator Jacob Stillwaters goes in with her. And when this happens, the corpse of Mr. Halvar kind of slurps off to the side, and you just see now, somewhat similar to what happened before, but just like a pulsing something of hair, of blackness.
Do we see them?
No, you don't.
Oh god, it's true. Oh.
And you're seeing, pressing through the hairs, some different faces that then get sucked back into the hairs.
Oh god, it's trying to form another.
It's like the flesh tree.
Celine just draws the sunblade. It's like, ah! Don't harvest from the body, they said. It won't come back. It's fine, they said.
Your sunblade goes out.
So Celine's like,
Norallie, you are wrapped in black hair, encased. Jacob, I don't think you have You don't have any special dark vision powers, for you are a mere human being. What a weakness in Dungeons and Dragons. And but you feel like you're in an open space that just shouldn't be in a beachside pit. It's not a vast, it's not a vast anything, but it's like you're in a room. And while everything is black, there's something you can just, for some reason, you can just see a glisten or a gleam or the outline of things. It's very faint, but it's there. And in the middle, wrapped up like a bug in a spider cocoon, is Norallie. You could see her tail for a moment before it's kind of bound up inside. Norallie, your constitution score is 13, correct?
Yep.
We begin at 13. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start with Norallie, then I'm going to go to Jacob, and then we're going to see what happens on the outside of...
We didn't get drug in.
No. Of what's happening. Norallie, you are somewhere. It's dark. You are bound. Mechanically, you're not, but you are. There's a tremendous pressure all around you. What are you doing? You feel like hair just slithering over your body. Whoops.
Trying to cast Thunderwave.
One second here.
Uh-oh. We're back in the...
Okay. You try to cast Thunder. Is this is Thunderwave the cantrip or the
This
First
is
level
a
spell.
spell.
first level spell? Okay. Are you letting the chaos out or are you containing it?
Containing it.
Okay. Jacob, you see this black silken cocoon kind of bulge out to the side. Not necessarily like a struggle or like someone threw an elbow or something. It kind of bulges out to the side and goes back. Norallie, you are hearing a voice from somewhere. It's everywhere and it's nowhere. More. More. Norallie, more! Jacob, you do not hear a voice. However, you see that, I mean, you're seeing almost like a form-fitting cocoon around Norallie that has, like, strands going to the floor and to the roof, holding her, like, on a spindle or something. What are you doing?
I need to end up tearing her out, whether it's with a hand axe, whatever it is that's prevalent. I am getting her out of that cocoon.
Okay.
So, whether you want to make that an athletics, a weapon attack, whatever you would choose to end up making it. But
If you want to cut her out with a hand axe, then you can make an attack.
alright. Trying to not actually cause any
Correct.
damage to Norallie. So.
All right. I was gonna say, hey, what are you gonna roll a 1 on this? Come on. All right. So,
I'm sorry.
so Derek rolled a
Of course
1.
he's going to roll a 1.
Um,
Derek, you should give Will Wheaton his dice back.
I can't. They're a collector's item.
Dice curse. On roll 20.
Derek, you go, you have the hatchet, and you try and line something up, and at the last minute, like, you see maybe like the indentation of the side of her cheek press against the hair. You go to pull back the strike, but it's too late, and the strike hits against this black silk, presumably right where her neck would be. But there's no scream. You impacted something, but there's no blood leaking, there's no scream or wiggles, as it just seems to subside back inside this thing.
Do it again?
And with the hand axe, you're trying to cut through, and it just... You sharpen these yourself. I mean, you're from Green Shield. Your hand axe is, you know, that's an official, you know, it was probably handed down to you or something. And despite that, it's nothing, it's not cutting through this substance.
Okay. I guess that's my turn. I guess I'm gonna have to rip it off next.
And now we go to the outside. You all can do whatever you want in whatever order.
What do we do?
Okay, so I want to see, like, is there any... Maybe you can describe the scene. I've lost track.
Okay, so you are on the beach by the wreckage of the building. Mr. Halvar's corpse has been kind of flung off to the side, and there is a giant pulsing pile of black silky hair. And you're seeing some faces press against the sides of the hair.
Do we recognize the faces?
They're not super defined right now. You're just getting a sense that some are pushing through. So you don't recognize any yet, or, I mean, at all. Maybe it's a yet. And you do know that your mage hand failed to manifest.
Yeah. So, I can't. My magic's not working. I don't understand. Do I still have hold of any hairs?
You do, and they're wiggling around in your hand. Not super forcefully, but they're like kind of tickling and skittering, and they're almost like a diviner's rod, like they want to join the central mass.
Do I still have the I do. Thankfully I do. Gonna go and be like, Mordecai, give me the rapier.
I give her the rapier.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go up and try and poke some holes in this cocoon.
Sure. Make an attack.
25?
25. Celine, you take the rapier Mordecai has tossed you, and the rapier just slides in between the hairs all the way to the hilt. And as that does, some of the hairs begin to flow up your hand, and where they touch you, they start turning blue.
Slide's like, and he's just trying to now jiggle the rapier. Hey, Mordecai, you should get down here.
I'm grabbing hold of her.
All right, you're gonna have to break her free as she's being held, and where the hair is touching her, it's turning blue.
I'm pulling her back.
Okay. You can make an athletics at advantage because Celine is going to be aiding in that, but acrobatics won't be on the table just due to the nature of what's happening here.
Yep.
Okay. So you manage to pull away, and Celine, as you rip away, like some of your skin is like clinging onto the hairs, and from your hand, and it just seems to kind of go back into this molded thing.
Ah. Don't take from the body. Don't take from the body, you said. It'll be fine, you said.
Really? You're gonna make that point now?
If
Okay.
he was missing an arm, this wouldn't happen. The hands would be fixing the body instead of trying to do whatever the hell this is. I don't know. I'm lost for words.
They went in.
It dragged them in, yes.
No.
Ah.
Norallie got dragged. Jacob jumped.
Okay, so
If
while
they're
they're having their petty
then
bickering,
maybe we can
Yes.
things to do.
maybe we can open him up.
So first thing I want to do is I'm going to ask my gargoyle to hold these hairs that I've been collecting,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try to take a step away, like as far as I can get, and see if I can get out of sight of the hairs and everything, and see if I can get any of my magic to work. I'll try the mold earth to try and build up like a bunker thing to work.
Sure. You back away from the kind of the ground zero, and you try a mold earth like off to the side, away from the pile, and you're able to manifest it.
Okay, so I'm almost useful, but not just yet. Yeah. That's my turn.
Norallie?
I'm not gonna do anything.
Nothing? Okay. Jacob?
Nothing? Did I hear that right?
What are you doing, Jacob?
I need to end up getting the young girl out. So, if hacking into pieces doesn't work, I'm going to rip her out of it.
Okay. You start trying to tear at the hair and pull, and you're even though it's hair, you're not even really able to get your fingers through. I mean, it's almost as if the hair is like condensed into a muscle, like a fibrous muscle. So it's not individual hairs, it's a thing. Use what you have. Both Norallie and Jacob here inside. Back on the outside, Mordecai, Celine, Bright.
Okay, if cutting that won't work, they went into the body, so open the body?
Not in the body of the dragon. This was happening underneath the dragon. The dragon's corpse was pushed off to the side.
Like a
Magic won't.
black pulsive thing in him.
Under it.
Magic won't work.
You happen to have a dispel? We could really use dispel right now.
As it just so happens, I keep it on call just for these very moments. But I can't cast at the moment, can I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, my magic didn't work up close, but I came back here and it worked. So maybe if you
I'm gonna move
stand
back.
back, I don't know.
I'm gonna move back and attempt to drop
Maybe
it
try
and go
something
back.
less expensive first.
That's alright. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing happens. Your spell is cast, but nothing happens.
Oh well, in that case, the spell wouldn't go up at all. Because I suppose no, it would. Yeah.
Mordecai? Bright?
fireball it?
No.
I'm not gonna cast a fireball with them in it.
No.
Who knows if they're in it or not?
Just saw
I'm
them.
going in. Oh god damn it, no!
We're making backwards progress.
I don't know what else I'm gonna do.
So then what are you doing, Mordecai?
I'm jumping in. I'm going.
Okay. Right, Celine, are you gonna want to stop her, or are you gonna let, or are you gonna, Mordecai do either of you wish to cease Mordecai from going into contact with this thing?
Yes!
And I'm pretty far away. I don't think I could.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
All
moved
I-
back to do a
All I
magic
could do is say,
experiment.
Mordecai, where are you going?
And Celine
then it would be too
moved
late.
away to cast as well. So, all right, Mordecai, I guess you're relatively free here. I mean, they can talk to you, but
Mordecai, that is a
I
bad
will say
idea!
that I'm going in.
That's a bad idea!
What else are we gonna do?
You tried to pull me away from it, it took chunks of skin off me! I'm
I'm
already a
undead.
little bit lacking as is!
The way that I see it, Celine, is they're in trouble. I'm going to help. I don't know what you plan to do out here, so I'm going in. And I do.
all right.
Oh,
You run towards this pulsing, fibrous thing on the beach. As you do, you just leap and you smack against it. It's not like a diving into a pool. However, where all the hairs are beginning to now like touch and you can feel it just like burrowing underneath your skin, you see that they turn a vibrant red color. And Mordecai, you are beginning to be pulled into this thing.
Does it feel like it's pulling me apart?
It's no, but that's because the feeling is, it's not a wrenching pain, nor even with this hair burrowing into you is it necessarily like being stabbed with 1,000 needles or something. It's like you're hugging a cactus, but it's uncomfortable. It's a feeling of something under your skin, of something that is creeping through you.
Does it feel like it's allowing me passing through?
There's no real way to determine that, at least not in a moment. Bright, anything from you?
So it's nice to have my own private gargoyle. So I'm gonna ask my gargoyle to go in there and try to dig to the center.
Okay. You want the gargoyle to go into the thing?
Well, obviously the plan is to dig out Jacob and Norallie,
Okay.
and apparently Mordecai, but mostly Jacob and Norallie.
Okay. It begins digging.
Else, let me know.
Norallie, we're back to you. Round 3.
Can I move at all?
Yes, but it's almost as you see it on the screen here. You are alone in this room with no light, yet there is light, but it's not your dark vision. It's just emptiness. It's like being alone manifested in a physical sense. There's no one. There's
I'm just gonna
nothing
cast some
except this
dancing
voice
lights
that
around me.
talked to you. I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna cast some dancing lights around me, just nearby.
Okay.
I don't have anything to do.
All right. The dancing lights, they themselves are a light, but they cast no light on walls, on a ceiling, there's a floor in a sense that you're walking and not flying, but there's not really a floor. It's just misty.
That's alright. I just want the lights near me.
Okay. Jacob? The cocoon kind of pulses once or twice, but kind of weakly.
Maybe I missed something. I'm gonna use another investigation. Is there... Trying to figure out, like, okay, is there a weak spot? Is there a way to peel her out? Do I need to, like, drag her up by her feet? Like, is there something, is this like a Chinese finger trap?
Sure.
Don't know. Just trying to figure out, like, how the hell, because it won't cut. What am I gonna do? Bash it?
Alright, you're thinking this... Normally, I would... If someone was tangled in a rope ladder, I would just kind of cut the ladder out and worry about that later. Or, you know, if this was saving a fly from a spider, I just sort of pluck it out. I can't hack at it. I can't get my hands on it. My axe isn't working. My muscles aren't working. What is it asking for? What was that voice? Use your gifts. And as you think that, Jacob, you hear once more, "You're a fool. Use what you have. Use it!" Both Norallie and Jacob hear this.
All I hear is use it. Now, you didn't say anything specific. That was specifically how you voice acted, or did the mic cut out?
Use your gifts.
Use your gifts.
And as you're contemplating this, Mordecai is sort of collapses on this floor that's not a floor behind you. Mordecai, you by the way, you see like that there's just this red stain now where Mordecai kind of passed through the wall. And this hair withdraws from Mordecai's body. Like you can see it rippling under his skin as he's like deposited, almost like birthed into this place. And then the hair recedes back out from underneath his skin. And Mordecai, you are inside a dark place that's not dark. There is a weekly, like this suspended thing in the middle of the room, and Jacob is contemplative, if not looking frustrated, sitting or standing next to it.
I did not think that would work. Where is she?
She appears to be in the cocoon stage.
I just call out, Norallie?
Do I hear him?
You don't hear anyone. It's quiet, except for that voice.
Use your gifts. That's what it keeps saying. It wants us to do something. What's Norallie's gift?
Sometimes magic just randomly manifests around her.
What action would you like to take, Mordecai?
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy.
Uh-huh.
And I am going to boost my voice to try and again, call out her name. See if I get a response. But I'm kind of looking for wild magic because I tasted her blood.
Do you have anything more powerful that you'd like to cast? Since that's just a cantrip.
Won't activate.
I guess, yeah. Then I'm going to cast Heroism on Jacob.
Okay.
It's every turn you will get 4 temporary hit points. And you are immune to fear. Oh, there it goes.
Hey. 101.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, that counted.
A spectral shield hovers near you for the next minute, granting you a +2 bonus to AC and immunity to magic missile.
Well, you know. Well, in case she fires off a spontaneous magic missile, you're covered.
So, Mordecai, this is hey, these are random rolls, and this is very symbolic here. Mordecai, chants a song of heroism. One that you've probably heard before, Jacob, but, you're getting just this boost, and as that happens, the shield from the knight in that story just manifests next to you. Or even it manifests, because you use a shield, right?
Yes.
It manifests over your shield. Mechanically, you're getting all the stuff, but it's manifesting over your normal shield.
As in, he's gonna get the bonus, or I am?
He is.
Alright.
Back outside, Celine and Bright, what are you doing?
Celine is like, oh boy. Damn it, I have to go get him. And Celine is gonna jump down and charge towards the the blackness.
Okay.
Celine, but now there's...
Bright.
I have no choice.
I mean, you do. When we were at the flesh tree, we actually didn't have a choice, but this time you do actually have a choice. You don't have to make that choice. You can make the other choice. We'll get them out. We just have to figure out how. That's all.
Yeah, well, maybe I might be able to do some good.
Celine, are you hitting this thing?
Yep.
All right. Bright, you're left alone.
How's my gargoyle doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. You have a gargoyle too. Your gargoyle's scooping, making mundane progress.
It's the lowest level of progress.
Yes, it is. It very much is.
So, when I was little, my mom said, if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you too? and I always wondered about that because, I mean, if all of my friends jumped off a bridge, doesn't it mean that probably the bridge is on fire or something like that? Rather than like that everyone has spontaneously gone insane. But right now I'm not sure. I mean, Norallie didn't have a choice, and then everyone else just jumped in. It's very strange. Very strange. Okay. I don't want to have to do this. Goyle, I really appreciate that you've done all this for me, and you survived, which is frankly I didn't expect that. So that's good too, especially for you. But thanks very much, and bye. Poof. So he goes away.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna sit down in my little bunker that I made.
Yep.
I'll be here for a little while, so maybe I'll mold earth and make a nice little sandcastle.
All right.
Just because I can.
All right. Bright One Tail sits down and makes a sandcastle.
But also this again. And that's gonna take me 11 minutes because
Okay.
I don't have a spell slot for it.
All right.
I used them on Wall of Force. So I'll be back in 11 minutes.
Okay. Noted. Norallie.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, you've been hearing this voice telling you to use your gifts. It sounds snarling. It sounds direct. It sounds kind of like that one woman, but something is definitely different about it.
I'm just gonna float my dancing lights between my hands. Not gonna do anything.
Okay. Jacob, the cocoon has stopped moving.
Well, if it's... So this is just kind of hanging there, if I understand this correctly.
Yes.
The hair just kind of goes up into the infinity, yes?
Yeah? I mean... this is obviously kind of a crude thing here, but... There's not really a floor, but it attaches to the floor, and there's not really a ceiling, but it attaches to a ceiling.
Fully understandable. Not a problem. I deal with this kind of situation all the time. Not a problem. Taking hold of his hand, the axe. He's going to calm down, focus, angle it properly, and he's going to swing and try and chop the hairs attached to the roof. Just to,
Sure.
Once she's down, we can work that out. But and when he does, something odd happens.
Describe this odd thing.
When he does so, he, for the briefest of moments, it almost seems like the hatchet starts to turn. Like the head of the axe starts to turn in on itself. Familiar scene that we saw when the Wall of Force was being eaten. But it's far more wild, it's far more chaotic. It's bits of the wood are turning, and yet not fully detached from. It's not like the handle's flying off. It's there, but it's spinning out of control and wildly when he ends up doing so. And I'm gonna guess 22 hits.
Yep.
6. Deals an extra 1d8.
Okay. Your distorted hand axe makes contact, and instead of bouncing off or becoming lost in the fibers, you actually see that it's searing through. This green energy just seems to sink into it, and you hear an ah, and it's similar. Sounds like that one time that Jade tripped, and she was so excited, and she was running towards you to show you something, and she tripped and skinned her knee.
Stop mocking me. And he's going to keep trying. He's going to get Norallie out. He's got to get Norallie out. And this is making some kind of progress, whether it's positive or negative. He's not sure, but he's got to get her out.
Okay, Mordecai.
Did I hear that he said stop mocking me?
You heard Jacob say that, yes.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Whatever progress he's making, I am going to step beside him, and I am also going to pull out I have a short sword on me. I'm going to assist.
Okay. You go to pierce with the short sword. It's a direct on blow to something that looks like soft tissue, and yet it turns aside the sword without leaving a scratch or a mark.
What are you doing? How are you?
I'm not doing anything. He tries to regain his composure. I'm getting Norallie out. I have to get her out. I have to get her out. That's what heroes do. He's starting to speak a little weird.
I am just gonna keep assisting.
And unless we are growing outside the turn order, I believe that brings it to Celine or Bright.
It's gonna be busy for a while.
Well,
but maybe Celine.
Yeah, Bright is concentrating on something. Celine, you manifest and you leave this blue smear on the inside wall of this place, and that you're in a room that's not a room, and in the center is this cocoon thing. Investigator Stillwater's hand axe is glowing green, and he's hacking at it. Mordecai looks to be assisting with a short sword.
Celine is gonna, I suppose, pull out the sublet and attempt to hack at it. If they're hacking at it, then she needs to be hacking at it.
Oh, nice of you to join us.
She's like, you know, right now, just be quiet. Shush!
Pull out.
Don't want to hear a peep out of you.
You pull out a hilt of a sword. The blade doesn't manifest.
Son of a... Fine then. She's just gonna swap to the rapier and then attempt to...
Norallie, we're in round 6.
I'm just keeping my lights close.
Why are you so scared, Norallie?
I'm not scared.
Then act.
Maybe I don't want to.
I didn't know then you wanted to die. You take 8 points of force damage, Norallie. Jacob, the cocoon kind of twitches.
He continues to keep hacking at it.
Okay.
He's doing everything he can't end up trying to end up getting her out. As he ends up continuing to speak, he starts trying to speak as though he's speaking to Norallie. Come on, Norallie. Come on. You ended up saying that there's something about your brother. Come on. You can't end up staying in here and not tell me something about him. Come on. Come on.
Nice. That's a green number. Jacob, you're Norallie! And you just, both hands in, and you just tear through this fibrous hair, muscles, something. And you hear another scream of your sister. This one was maybe that one time that She fell and broke her arm, and oh, it was in such pain. She was okay except for her arm, but oh, that scream. You never felt more protective or concerned or however you did in that moment.
Stop mocking me.
Did I hear that scream?
No.
Just him. Okay.
However, Celine, Mordecai, and Jacob, you do hear Norallie has chosen death. And in her action, so too, or in her inaction, so too will you die.
Do I recognize what does that sound like?
It sounds similar to Jade, though in a kind of a echoey, distancy reverberation. And all of you take 3 points of damage. Just unavoidable. A depletion of your existence is really a better term of it.
Jade, let her go.
Mordecai, you can act. I mean, you can say that, but if you want to do something else too.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself. Do it at a level 3 slot. So that I get more hit points.
Are you giving me a 101?
Sure.
For the next minute, you can see any invisible creature you have line of sight to. As this manifests and your body begins to repair itself, you can see the faintest indentations of faces that aren't necessarily forming walls, but they're just maybe not quite ghosts, maybe ghosts. It's weird. You're just seeing faces all around that weren't there before.
That's weird.
Am I seen?
No, you are not. Mordecai is. Mordecai's looking around, probably baffled. Mordecai, though, you hear something that Celine and Jacob, nor Norallie hear. You drank from her. You share the gift and use it.
What gift?
Celine? Mordecai is kind of freaking out, looking around. What gift? Look, just staring.
Please, like, oh, fucking joy. Okay. She's like, Gift. Could be talking about, I don't know, maybe the... I'm just gonna have to try and get in there, hold on. And I'm going to attempt to inflict wounds on the cocoon.
Your spell doesn't manifest.
Oh,
Mordecai's
God.
dead.
We literally cannot do anything in this situation!
Jacob's dead, too. Celine's did not.
So, Bright has gotten a little ways into casting her spell, but she's had some second thoughts and she wants to do something else.
Okay.
Go feet away from all this. Another sandcastle. And then she's gonna start over. And she's gonna summon a Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue to go about halfway. Or maybe not even that far. And just keep a lookout. And if something starts happening, she should start chirping really loud.
Okay.
Gonna go back to casting her spell because it's probably only been like a minute, if even that, and I just wanted to set up in a slightly more advantageous position in case I need to.
Okay.
So now back to casting the same spell over again.
Norallie, round 7.
What do you want from me?
is what you are and what you have.
I don't have anything. Everything keeps getting taken away.
Take it back! Are you casting anything? Or are you doing anything?
Let me just cast resistance on myself.
Okay. You take 7 points of existence damage. Jacob.
Continuing the same routine, and he's got to get around. And since, can't hack it to pieces with a warhammer, got to be the hand axe.
It's okay, you still hit. It's not exactly a twitchy target.
No. And he continues to hack it through, and a smile comes across his face. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. We just need to get you out of there. Any minute now. Any minute.
Mordecai, you're seeing Jacob do this.
I'm gonna back away a little bit, and I am going to, since my spell manifested, I am going to cast a guiding bolt at one of the junctures that's going up towards the ceiling-ish thing.
Okay.
And that's a critical hit.
It is. And also give me a 101, please. $59. You regain your lowest level expended spell slot.
Oh, that doesn't cost me a spell slot. Okay.
Energy wells up in you from somewhere. And where Celine is struggling, you aim, and just as we have Jacob, who's kind of climbed up high and is trying to chop here, you're aiming at a lower support structure, and you're going low, and it manifests. It looks different than what because you've cast this spell time and time again. This looks different. It looks out of place. It looks like you cast half of it, but then it's already impacted, and then the second half seems to impact it after, just as the first half leaves your hand. It's weird, but it seems to be damaging or disintegrating.
I said, let her go.
Norallie, on the inside of this thing, you hear a hiss and a growl. They get it and understand. Celine?
I have absolutely no idea what to do because my magic is not working, the physical attacks aren't working, and I have literally nothing else available to me. So,
It's called the help action.
yeah, that's about as much as I could do.
Okay.
Jacob is up next, I guess, so Jacob will,
Is it the only thing you can do?
Yeah, I have not, well, think of it this way. I have none of my class features, none of my magic is working, none of my physical attacks are working. And, that's not even including, the fact that I had to grab a weapon from... I had to grab a weapon from Mordecai to even have the ability to make physical attacks that weren't unarmed strikes.
All of you take 5 existence damage. Celine, you can make an investigation if there's nothing else that there's really any that you're doing to think, what can I do? How can I put something together?
Yeah, I'll do an investigation and I would attempt a guidance, but I don't think that would work.
You are correct.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Bright casts a spell, and we're into round 8, Norallie.
So, I
Oh,
do
I'm
want to
sorry.
just. No, just I'm not interrupting my action or anything.
Okay.
Bright is having this vision in her mind, not like a vision, just like something she remembers. That it was a story that someone told her of people who were exploring a tomb, and they came upon the head of a demon, and the demon had its mouth open, and one of the people that was exploring just crawled into the mouth of the demon and disappeared. And then everybody else looked around, and then the next one said, I guess I better go in after them, and crawled into the mouth of the demon and disappeared. And then the third one said, I guess I'll go in after them, and crawled into the mouth of the demon and disappeared. And then the fourth one said, I guess I'll go in after them, and crawled into the mouth of the demon and disappeared. And then the fifth one said, I get all the treasure. That's all. That's the end of the story. She's still casting her spell.
Gotcha. Noted. Round 8, Norallie.
This is not going well.
Who are you?
Why can't you just leave me alone?
Because the world won't leave you alone, Norallie. No one's left alone. Well, not even here where you're alone. Do something about it. You want the world different? Make it different.
Does this look like there's space in here?
Yeah, there's space. It still feels confined, but you don't see walls. It's a...
I'm gonna try to make a cloud above me.
Okay. A cloud forms.
I'm just gonna lightning bolt a random area in front of me.
Okay. Are you letting the chaos flow?
Nope.
Okay. What level spell is this?
This is 3.
The lightning strikes the floor, such as it exists. Yes! Yes! You must do sometimes things you don't want to do. Jacob, and this would go for Mordecai as well, because each of you got a nice like crit in on the parts that you're hacking at. You swear for a second, you see like a bolt, like a strobe of light, just like a bright light coming from, like you must have been thinning out this material, because you see just barely a little pulse of light coming from the tissue. Jacob, over to you.
To hack in.
The cocoon kind of expands out though, like it twitches. It bulges and twitches.
When it bulges out, wherever the bulge is, that's where I'm going to end up striking.
Okay.
Something exactly. Because that may be where the material's thinnest. Hopefully. Whatever Norallie's doing in there.
I know. Yeah, no, I know what's going on here. Okay.
It's okay. It's not dodging or anything. So once more, this green chaos just channeled by you through this hand axe, just, and you're slashing through. It's not that you're not making progress, but this is, I mean, you're cutting down a tree with a hand axe. Maybe you've done it before, but you know, doesn't mean you liked it.
Certainly not.
Norallie, you're seeing that where the lightning had struck, it's still kind of like sizzling on the ground. Mordecai, over to you. Jacob is just this whatever this is he's hacking, he's sweating.
I'm gonna cast Sending to Norallie.
Okay, giving me a 101. A spectral shield hovers near you for the next minute, granting you a +2 bonus to AC and immune. So the shield of the hero is now floating next to you as well. So Mordecai, you always wanted to use a shield. Now you have a matching set with Jacob.
Fancy that. This is weird. All right.
What's going on? Is this coincidence? Is this a sign? What is happening? But the sending spell goes off.
And I say to Norallie, we're coming to get you. Hang in there.
Norallie, in a voice that sounds kind of echoey and kind of booming, like the distant sound of a thunderstorm rolling in, Mordecai saying something. It's difficult to make out the words, but Mordecai, you hear Mordecai's voice, and not this other voice that's been kind of rasping and thundering around you. Mordecai, as far as you know, your spell did go off.
Did I
She
make
can
out what
respond
he
if
said?
You, Norallie, you can understand. Like it sounds like Mordecai's voice, as if he was shouting to you from the other end of an empty warehouse. Like it sounds very echoey. Like you can tell it's Mordecai's voice, and it's
But I
not whatever
can't
this
tell
other
what he
voice
said?
is. But no, it's difficult to make out the words. Still, you don't see Mordecai, so somehow he's been able to reach you. He's out there somewhere. It could be a trick, but that's at least a different voice. Celine?
Damn. I can attempt the investigation again.
Sure, go ahead.
And try and come up with something. Wow, really? Again? Jesus Christ.
You're thinking, and your mind is turning over and over, and it's. Bright, do you have any more fables and lore for us from the gnomes?
We don't hear you.
No, not right now. I'm still casting. I'm just thinking about. This reminds me a lot of when everyone else went off with Symphonics, and I didn't see them again for a month and a half. And now even Norallie's gone with them. I don't have anyone at all. But I'm still casting my spell. Maybe it'll all work out. Okay, bye.
Norallie, the floor is kind of sizzling, crackling. There's just this emptiness, this boom and rattle. Ooh. What spell slot is this one?
It is not a spell slot.
That's
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
she can-
concentration.
It's a concentration spell, and as an action, she can call down another bolt. While
Oh,
she's
gotcha.
taking this concentration. Yeah, no, call lightning's really good, especially on a druid, because you.
Oh, that's
are
right. It's
using
like it's like Witch Bolt, but a druidic form.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
you don't have to roll for it. I'm just gonna blast.
Okay. The lightning does strike from the cloud down into the pool that was kind of forming, almost like a puddle of liquid electricity. And it certainly made the crack, the snap. Your hairs kind of stood up on end as the electricity came into being, but there was no real reaction here. There was nothing really, no hiss, no good or bad in the immediate reaction. Give, Norallie. What are you willing to pay? Are you willing to pay everything? To give everything for what you want? If so, then do it. Jacob, it's over to you. You're getting, because you're in melee with this, you're getting kind of a staticky feeling from this hair flesh. But you can do what you're gonna do.
Staticky feeling.
Yeah.
I don't have many options outside of it. And if I take a moment to pause, that might actually be the moment that gets so cool. So, I keep rolling.
Okay. You still make contact. Another, and some of this stuff is starting to, like, you're cutting into it. You're cutting through. It's not like it's bleeding or anything, but you're cutting through it. And if that's progress, then that's progress. You're at least able to affect it. You're able to do something. And you also haven't really had this voice say anything to you, which could be good. Mordecai?
Going for another guiding bolt.
Pew.
Third level spell slot.
Phew. $101. 27. For the next minute, all your spells with a casting time of 1 action have a casting time of 1 bonus action.
Alright.
Mordecai, you are pouring spells into this thing, and you are becoming blessed in a sense. Your body is being invigorated despite your vampiric, whatever the interaction is. You are a conduit for magic. It is raw. It is the air in your lungs when you sing. It is the clay between your fingers. Magic is just an extension of you. Magic is blood keeping you going, and you're manipulating it, just as you have when you drink the blood of others. This is the stuff of raw creation, Mordecai. And your guiding bolt slams, and you're pouring your energy out, and it just seems to keep. You just keep going and keep going, like an endless well. Jacob's shield is glowing with the symbol of a hero. You didn't have a shield, but one is kind of floating next to you. And just kind of another dark chunk kind of falls away. And I mean, you two you're chipping away at this. Celine, what are you doing?
One more.
Okay.
Third time's the charm,
Let's see
hopefully.
if you get a 4.
Better not
I'm
be
hoping
good.
that with characters.
That's not a 4.
No, it's a 13.
You're thinking, okay, my blade doesn't work. The rapier doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't know. I don't know Jacob. I met him today, but he's able to do something with this green fire. Mordecai, how can he make magic? What is this? He drank from Norallie. Norallie was able to affect the tree. Maybe it's something in the magic. Jacob's shield is glowing with a manifestation of this chaos magic. You're proficient with shields.
Yeah. Investigator, your shield, if you would. I might be able to punch through the cocoon, but I need a manifestation of chaos magic in my hands to be able to do it. That's how you guys are casting, and I'm not.
With a large smile that has never left his face, he casts his shield aside.
I'm gonna just go over and get it real quick.
Okay, the shield.
Jacob has this. Oh, go ahead.
The shield falls silently and wobbles on the floor, glowing with this heraldry of a knight of myth to Mesomaskins. And I'm sorry, Jacob, go ahead.
Jacob has this look like he's maintaining a smile, but when he's looking towards Lee, this guy got this bit of like expectation of. Come
Celine.
on, so you know what you're supposed to say.
Oh.
Thank you. Well, yeah, thank you, but
Those are the magic words. You win the encounter.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Celine, you're holding a shield in your hands. What are you doing with it? How are you going to employ this?
It's a melee spell attack, so I'm gonna attempt an inflict wounds.
The spell does not go off.
Ah, crap. Well, there goes my idea.
Bash it with the shield.
Yeah, I can. I suppose I'll attempt to bash it with the shield because I was gonna like press the shield into it as using the use that as the melee spell attack.
The spell doesn't go off, but when you pull back to see if it worked, you do see that the shield left like a mark on the. Nothing really significant, but the shield did leave a mark on this black sinuous fiber. And so it does seem to be able to interact with this stuff. It does seem to affect it.
Right. Well, we're gonna push, I guess.
Bright, over to you.
Really just deep in concentration right now. Just as long as Peggy Sue doesn't chirp, I'm keeping one ear open. It's the ear that isn't covered by a floof. It's only covered by a... But other than that, keeping it open in case Peggy Sue chirps. That's all.
That poor floof.
Norallie, back inside, you're the lightning was pouring into this puddle. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna use my action to activate Call Lightning.
Okay.
Does it do anything?
It still comes down and electricity falls into the puddle, but it doesn't seem to be. There's no real voice, no screaming or hissing or good or bad or hello or goodbye. Not even a thank you.
Let me just mess this up for section.
Okay. Are you containing your chaos?
Yep.
You know, honestly, the next time you do that, I'm just hoping you roll
I don't think I've ever rolled a 1.
You haven't, as far as I remember.
I'm jinxing the dice and hoping that you do.
Norallie, you appear.
I've
However,
always
where
chosen.
you were, there is a foggy you standing where you were. More, Norallie. All of it. Don't hold back. That was the end of round 10. Well, I mean, sorry, that was the end of Norallie's round 10. Jacob, still hacking?
Still hacking.
Okay.
Celine is He's gonna say that she has an idea, just as a shout.
Hmm. What's your idea?
Another slice. Cutting through.
It's like, come over here and get behind me.
I go behind her
Okay.
because I was gonna shoot a guiding bolt.
Sure.
It's like, all I can do is use this and charge just straight at the cocoon.
Okay.
I was
Why do you
thinking,
want
because
me?
Jacob no longer has the shield, that he could get behind me and give me a little bit of extra oomph, and you could charge with your shield.
Jacob's already
wow,
on
you
this
could
thing,
smack
and
it.
like he's a lumberjack on this thing, just going to town.
Yep, I'm guiding bolt.
Okay.
That's a level 3 spell slot. My last one.
Give me a 101. An eye appears on your forehead. Mordecai,
Lots of eyeballs.
you
lots of
I
are...
have lots of perception right now.
Yeah, you are... Not only can you see these sort of faces, but these invisible things that have been swirling around. There's... Looking at the central sort of pulsing cocoon, you maybe can make out a silhouette or something from inside. There's definitely some kind of strobing light. Maybe you have really good perception. Are there
Passive perception 25.
2 figures in there? It's difficult. Maybe it's a trick of the material.
Hmm.
Celine, you have this shield. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna charge straight into it with the shield and put everything I've got behind her.
Sure. You can make an athletics or a melee attack. It might be the same, but whichever one you'd prefer.
It is the same.
Okay.
I mean, if I had proficiency
Uh,
on the melee attack, would I have proficiency? I am proficient with the shield.
yeah, sure.
Alright, well then it'll be,
As long as it's strength based, then that's what we're going for.
Yep.
All right.
ugh.
All right. You
That's
go into
terrible.
it and it kind of gives that like a sear, and you can see a part of the mark of the hero like was burnt into the skin. It's not like twitching and howling, or there's not kind of like ropes unraveling of it like what Jacob is doing when he's slicing through it. As he's continuing this battle, or Mordecai kind of blew chunks up, but you're definitely it's working. If there's just another way or another angle, but you're able to affect it, and it's something. Every bit, every inch may count. Bright.
I'm thinking up more interesting anecdotes, but mostly I'm just casting my spell.
Sure. Norallie, there's a misty U inside this place. There's a pool of liquid electricity pouring down from a thundercloud. Unless that went away. No, Misty Step doesn't interrupt that.
No, it's not. I'm gonna ask the voice, what exactly do you want?
And in bright green jade eye color letters that form on the ceiling.
I asked you first.
Anything else on round 11?
Oh. 2 rounds left. Dead. Something.
And let's the lightning go.
Okay.
I'm gonna misty step away from the devil.
Okay. There is now a triple. Are you letting the magic out?
Nope.
Okay. Roll. Okay.
I am in control here.
And now we come over to Jacob. You are seeing because you're kind of on top. Whoops, that's not the select tool. You're kind of like detaching it towards the top. You can see written like there's like a green glowing. You're kind of making out letters, through this because you've been hacking and hacking. There's like a green glow. Maybe it's difficult to read what it says. It's kind of blurry and backwards, but something's changing inside. And because you've been hacking away too, are there 3 people in there? What's going on? The cocoon looks kind of tight still, but at the same time, when you're looking into it, it's almost like it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Oh, we're smaller on the outside.
And the green matches the same green that's glowing on your axe, your hand axe.
With the 17, can I actually read it?
Yeah, you're an investigator. You read whatever, like, clues and pieces of magazines that have been cut out and sent to other people. Yeah, it's difficult. This is going to be your turn instead of hacking, though, because you're going to have to decipher this. But it does say, what do you want? And the way it's written, like, I don't know if, maybe there's a special way that, your sister, like, made almost like a cursive, to kind of have it stand out. But that's definitely her Y or her whatever.
Jade, I don't know if you can hear me, but I want you back. Come back, Jade. Come back. Go on, Norallie. We're almost here. We're almost out. Come on.
All right, Mordecai. I mean, you hear what Jacob is saying. Is he stopped for a second, seems to be scouting, looking through. What are you doing?
Did I overhear him say, "Jade, come back"? I want Jade back. I want my sister back.
I'll let that be his call.
He's lost in the moment.
Okay. He's lost, so he's passionate. Also, Lethality, I know you're gonna have to get going soon, so depending, like, we could have you kind of mess around with the shield or something, or because I know you're gonna have to go for
It's
your
right.
game.
I've got like 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Then Mordecai, what are you doing?
I am gonna do what's effective. I'm gonna guiding bolt it again.
Okay.
Level 2 spell slot. I'm gonna be wasting all my spells.
And what happens with it?
I can just keep shooting at it.
Well, no, I mean, I need a 101.
Oh. Herb turn.
74. A random creature within 60 feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours. So this is going to be, I need you to roll a d3, and we have Norallie, Jacob, or Celine. All right, so Jacob, a bolt comes slamming in, and you're kind of close to the flesh as you're kind of peering through it, and just this ripple of energy kind of like flashes up, and you feel kind of disoriented by it. It's affecting you. Something is feeling weird.
Some nonsense nausea.
And, Norallie, you can see for a moment the outline of a person somewhere up around the roof where it says you. But it's a silhouette, almost like it's on someone on the other side of a thin curtain. Celine, over to you.
I'm gonna attempt to run the run the shield straight into it.
Sure.
Hope that I make some headway. That's better.
Yep. You just take it and everything. And you just start slapping this thing around. And Norallie, it's not that kind of distant rumbling, and it's not the crackling from electricity, but there's some kind of a percussion you're hearing in the distance, whatever that means here.
Alright, so I'm gonna prepare something.
Bright, are you still concentrating?
First, I've had a couple of thoughts while this is all going. One of them is only a fool fights in a burning house. Unless mere death is not defeat, or is mere life a victory. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, that's quite the good roll she's got there.
As you're not falling, I don't know
This
if
lasts for a minute. It's in preparation for something.
Yeah, but it's a reaction.
But it's a reaction.
It's a reaction to if you or a creature within 60 feet of you. So technically, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because
You don't
can't
need
use
to
a
do it.
reaction as an action?
No.
Only when it's triggered. But it doesn't matter, you'd be able to cast it anyway. As your...
Would I be able to cast it if I was falling right after casting a spell?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, reactions
if-
don't interact with the other
yeah,
kinds of spell
if you're
casting.
falling, you can cast
Yeah, no, you
Featherfall.
can cast another spell then.
Okay. So let's just reverse that. I'm Misty stepping up to the words that I saw something behind
Okay.
and casting Featherfall since I'm going straight up.
Okay.
Shit.
Give me another. Unless you're letting it out on Misty Step, I need another roll.
Nope.
Okay. Are you?
I'm just trying to see what's up there.
Okay. It looks like the silhouette of a man. He's kind of doubled over, and then after materializing, like you have this second, and you begin to fall down, and you cast Featherfall, and you're slowly going back down to land atop another mist clone that's underneath you, and all these clones are watching you, and they all have these eyes, these green eyes. That's the end of Norallie's round 12. And Jacob, for a moment, you swear you saw the silhouette of a tiefling girl on the other side of that green letter. However, it looks like she kind of faded back into obscurity.
Well, there's signs of life. So clearly we need to end up here digging a little bit deeper.
Okay. Even in your poison state, you're still able to hit a massive substance. So like your guts are tightening up, but you gotta do this, Jacob. You gotta do this. And this green flame
That's what
flares.
heroes do.
Mordecai.
Does it look like he's about to go through, or does it look like we're making progress?
He's still hacking. He's determined. You've been blowing chunks out of this thing. You've been able to make a faint contact-ish with Norallie.
all I can do is guiding bolt it until it explodes and lets her go.
Okay.
It's another level 2 spell slot.
Okay. More damage slams into this thing with an extra effect of 4. For the next minute, you can see any invisible creatures.
I'll already do that.
So now,
That's for another minute.
You're literally just transcending time and space with your
yeah,
vision.
you are, Mordecai, you are starting to see gears churning, and you kind of dodged out of the way for a second. Like, it looked like something was going to drip on you, but it was nothing. But this nothingness just seems to... What is going on? You have this eye, you can see all this stuff everywhere. Gears are driving and turning. Things are churning and have this grease or liquid, and some just fell through you? You're peeling back reality or something, at least as if you believe Jade at all in what she told you. You're starting to see the faintest animated silhouette of maybe what she had to see every single day. The faces, the gears, these belts or tendrils driving things, everything coated in something that was everywhere, but no one could see, no one could touch, no one could believe.
It's real.
And you seem to be inside an engine, some kind of reality engine. The gears are turning. This is a hub.
What's real, Mordecai?
The gears.
Well, of course it's real. Something like that is far too fantastical to make up.
Fantastical too fantastical to make up. Are you literally saying that sentence to me?
Yes.
To be
It's
clear,
like it-
Mordecai's the only one who can see this.
Yep.
It's like an engine. It's got faces, it's got tendrils, it's got gears. It's like the ship.
You see the lines, Mordecai.
Paint the
Celine?
lines.
Yeah.
Cut them in.
Celine?
Can I identify some kind of weak point? Maybe like where Mordecai or Jacob has taken a chunk out of it, where I might be able to jam the shield.
Yeah, I mean, there's been just chunks taken out of it. Now Jacob's working on his part. Mordecai's been hitting it with ranged attacks, so you could probably just get in there and try to, kind of like prop it open or wiggle it around, or.
I'm gonna try and use the shield and basically go use it as an opening wedge, just to drive it in and go bang.
Sure.
To attempt to open it up. That's not gonna do anything though.
You get it in there, and it's still making contact. Like, you can feel some resistance. You can feel something twitch as you're kind of putting magical salt in a magical wound with this. Bright.
Oh no.
Still casting.
Yep.
Often I look up just long enough, and just to make sure that Peggy Sue is still there and that no eldritch horrors have erupted out of the battle site.
No, not yet. You still have some time.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, not yet. That's a.
Norallie, it is round 13. Lucky number 13.
I'm going to lightning bolt that hole in the wall.
Okay.
And I'm still in control.
What spell slots do you have left?
I have 5 left. Or number 5 left. 1 number 5. That was my last 4.
Okay. As you do, the lightning crackles all throughout this kind of smoldering green text. And the what seems to change into who. As your lightning continues to just stick like a syrup on the inside here. And it's interacting with the magic. It's causing it to jerk and spasm. You cast your magic up. Are you doing anything?
I can't do anything else.
Anything?
Who's that to?
This is what Norallie sees.
Ah.
What do you
Yeah,
want?
no.
Her lightning course through it. Change to who do you want? And just a few seconds after that, it continued to scroll to be.
I'm not going to answer this time.
Okay. Norallie, everything goes dark. There's no light, no sound, no feeling, nothing. Jacob.
Jacob continues to end up swinging. He is bound and determined.
You saw a bit of a light show happen. You've been hacking through it, making progress. And you tear. You actually punctured, you feel like you punctured through. You tore into something.
No lie. We're going to get you out. By hook or by crook, we will get you out. And he kind of, rather than pulls the axe out, he kind of uses it to kind of wedge and tilt it to the side to make sure that this thing doesn't close up or anything like that.
Sure.
And since it carries two, grabs out the second one, and he's going to use one to wedge, and he's going to keep trying to pry this thing further and further apart. Can he see Norallie in there?
With the green, in a moment, like a camera flash to us, with the green flame striking, you can see a body down below, lying on the floor.
Come on, Norallie.
Mordecai, Jacob seems to be he's leaning into something. He's yelling something that you can kind of hear.
I want to get to where to that hole.
Okay, you can try climbing up there, or if you want to try blowing through it, you can.
I want to try and blow through it. I want to try and open
Sure.
tear it open as much as I possibly can. Because I just realized I don't have what I thought I would.
All right. So in this case, Now, still give me a 101, please. But your guiding bolt, like, you're distracted a bit, and it kind of flies off. 53. Well, we've been kind of clustering here. You are immune to being intoxicated by alcohol for the next 5d6 days.
Aren't I already?
Yeah.
That's a shame. Sounds like you're gonna need it after this.
I don't know. We'll think of something. Roll it again, just to let's give you something relevant to who you are here, because your chaos magic would be.
You said 5d6 days.
No. Just roll that 101.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you something relevant to who you are, because your chaos magic is a part of you.
You right?
Oh, no.
905. All right, there's a 75. All right. So that is, you glow with bright light in a 30-foot radius for the next minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of you is blinded until the end of its next turn. Mordecai, your body is radiating like sunlight, like through the cracks that normally form. It's as if you're containing a sun inside of you. And just light. You're like a disco ball right now. Just light is pouring out of you, Mordecai.
Am I aware that I'm manifesting chaos magic right now?
Yes.
I'm thinking it's very weird.
Celine, Jacob is yelling down in here. Mordecai missed with the shot and is suddenly like cracks going down his skin and lights pouring out. What are you doing?
Mordecai can deal with himself. He's a big boy.
Okay. You want to try and go for that hole blasted?
Yep, I'm gonna go into the hole that Jacob managed to blast open, and inside Celine is gonna scream. It's like Eunice, it's like Norallie. Get up. We
All right.
need you out here.
So what we're going to do, Celine, Celine, you can see in the darkness. Jacob, you saw a little bit, but thanks to Mordecai's gross incandescence,
very gross.
Praise the sun. Thanks to Mordecai's being so grossly incandescent, you can see down in there, almost like a spotlight effect, and just as lights kind of pass over as Mordecai's moving. And Celine, this will help you as well, because while you can see in the dark, perception isn't always the best, because it's quote-unquote dim light. And the lights pass over the form of Norallie, who is lying motionless at the bottom of some kind of a chamber, sprawled and limp. And it is here that we will end tonight's session.
That's funny.
That's really weird to find funny, but okay.
That was also slightly sarcastic at the same time, I hope you know.
So there we go, everyone.
Yep, that is
another Tuesday coming
boy.
going.
Oh boy.
I am doing a concern. I am doing a heckin' concern.
As do we all.